Viewers, welcome. Today we are going to talk about International Day for Persons with Disabilities. This year, we are observing this slightly different from last year. When we did last year, it was everyone who could come and join and have fun, interact, and exchange ideas. But this year, it is different. We are passing a time that is under pandemic conditions. We have been through 2 lockdowns. But today, I think we are going to see a host of speakers and participants, which will make this time that we passed and make up all that with a celebration. That is, when we are observing today the International Day for Persons with Disabilities, organized by Apasen, supported by London Borough of Tower Hamlets. We have a host of guests, but before we go there, I would like to say a little bit about the impact of COVID and how it has impacted the people, us, and everyone. In Britain, statistics says 13.7 million have been affected directly. What they are saying is that the most missed activities have been socially involvement and socially being involved with each other, seeing each other, going to the day centers, celebrating birthdays, celebrating different days and occasions which we have missed in the last 1 year. So how we make it up? We make it up by coming together virtually. Virtual reality is a reality that has changed everything. United Nations, since marking this day for a day with people with disabilities since 1992, there is a history touch to it. Why? Because we have seen inclusion being done, but partially. So when we think about recovery, when we think about how to go forward, this day shows that we can look at the people we often forget, we often don't understand, and take it from them how differently we could start the inclusion process. So without further ado, what I'm going to do now is to show you a short video where we will learn a little bit about this day, how it all started.
The annual observance of the International Day of Disabled Persons was proclaimed in 1992 by the United Nations General Assembly resolution. The observance of the day aims to promote an understanding of disability issues and mobilize support for the dignity, rights, and well-being of persons with disabilities. It also seeks to increase awareness of gains to be derived from the integration of persons with disabilities in every aspect of political, social, economic, and cultural life. Over the years, Apasen has been delivering a range of arts and cultural activities and awareness events for people with disabilities. Apasen aspires to promote the fundamental principles of One Tower Hamlets across the borough to tackle inequality, strengthen community cohesion, and build leadership. The IDPD events tend to attract over 500 people each year, with the majority having a disability. In addition, parents and carers of people with disabilities also attend and participate in the activities. The events are arranged on a broad themes of sports, arts and cultural activities utilising accessible local community venues in Tower Hamlets. The steering group provide the opportunity to gather support for the events and also to meet the objective of working in partnership with other Tower Hamlets organisations. This group meets on 3 occasions between May and December every year to consult the format, themes and aims and objectives of the events. The steering group includes Apasen, Real, Local Voices, Beyond Sight Loss, Balance Community Sports Association, Poetry in Wood, Create, Look Ahead, Birds NHS, Bangladeshi Parents and Carers Association, BPCA.
What a change it has been. The journey of IDPD here in Tower Hamlets. For the last 4 years, it has been celebrated very well with the community, in the heart of the community. This year, going virtual, we have a few guests of honor who have joined us today in this forum, and I would like to introduce them one by one. First, I would like to introduce to you all our guest of honor, Mr. John Biggs. He's the Executive Mayor of London Borough of Tower Hamlets. Good morning, John, and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me to this event today.
And then we have Mohammed Zulkarnain, Honourable Deputy High Commissioner from Bangladesh High Commission, London. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning to everybody.
Thank you. And then we have Dr. Ian Basnett. He's the Public Health Director, Birds Health NHS Trust. Good morning, Doctor. Thank you and welcome.
Good morning. Delighted to be here.
And last but not the least, from the panel, we have Mr. Mahmood Hassan, MBE, Chief Executive, Apasen and Apasen International. Good morning.
Good morning.
Also, we have 2 special guests, 2 of our learners. I think they are what we work and what we do, and it is an honor to invite them on this virtual platform. So we have Robin Dashgupta. Robin, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Robin is a learner, and also we have another learner, Ruxana Begum. Ruxana, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Ruxana and Robin will be joining us throughout the show, and we will hear from them. But first, I would like to welcome for an introductory speech, Mr. Mahmood Hassan, MBE.
Thank you, Saima. Good morning, all. I would like to thank all our guests and the member staff of the Organized Apasen for arranging this event with a short time. We were very uncertain at this pandemic period whether we shall do it, host it or not. And thanks all our guests for also by short notice joining to us. You all know that we celebrate every year almost for last 5 years, and in partnership with London Borough of Tower Hamlets, as we are based in here. And Apasen being a leading social care organization, we do, and we also work closely with other organizations in the borough and outside. And this year, it is unfortunately a situation that unprecedented time everybody is passing. And especially this time, our special need people. And while we, particularly daycare, has been seized operation, but we are doing outreach. We are trying to support as much as we can, and with our abilities, with our limited resources. But at the same time, we can see that our people of special needs or people with differently able who how they're managing their lives in this pandemic from home. They will tell you. And I like to thanks again everyone for joining us. I'm sure that when pandemic is over, next year we shall be able to do it better and interactive program. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hassan. Mahmoud Hassan MB has been leading Apasen nearly 2 decades, and under his leadership, it has become an incredibly successful organization. He played an instrumental role in forming Apasen International, a global charity with the aim to raise awareness and educate people with autism and multiple disabilities. So he has been a champion of raising community issues at the policymaking level. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you.
We're now going to see another video, and I think it will be interesting to see and learn a bit more about what Apasen done and has been doing.
Apasen is commissioned by the London Borough of Tower Hamlets to organise engagement events for people with disabilities. The combination of arts, culture and sports events had always been an opportunity to raise social awareness across the borough. Each year, people with disabilities get the opportunity to participate in a range of sports activities which include football tournament, cricket, tennis and group games. Hundreds of people get registered for the sports day along with the parents and carers of those with disabilities and support staff. Participants are given the opportunity to demonstrate their skills in arts and crafts during the event to engage in a positive way. The activities include henna and face painting and canvas painting along with music and dance opportunities. One of the remarkable features of this event has been the IDPD Award. 6 categories being chosen for nominations which include the arts, social and leisure, education, work and training, sports, transport, travel, along with an open category. Nominations were required from organisation individuals across the borough. There has been live music and dance opportunities during the event. Performances and open mic sessions were also arranged so that anyone can join and perform. This year, despite the pandemic, Apasen is keeping its promise to promote inclusiveness and equality by organising this virtual IDPD event. Together, we desire to build a disability-inclusive, accessible and sustainable post-COVID-19 world.
The pandemic has not been kind. It has been it has brought so many challenges and so many barriers to our lives that often we forget that what we have missed. This video brought back that memory of being together, being out and about, being in the community. Thank you for what you do. I will now move on to our next speaker, Dr. Ian Basnett. Dr. Ian Basnett has been very, very important in terms of inclusion and building awareness about people with disabilities. He has been an inspirational character And I would first like to hear a little bit from him today as we observe this day, and then we will move on to the next section. Dr. Bassett, you need to unmute yourself, sir. I think this is the key word of our time, isn't it? Can you hear me? Are you muted or unmuted? Thank you.
You're on. You're on mute. The key word, as you say. Well, look, thank you very much for that extraordinary, generous introduction. And it's a real pleasure to be here. I think if history's taught us anything, it's that it's really only by the collective action of groups that are in different ways disenfranchised can we make progress. And I think it's all about being just a little bit troublesome with a purpose, to try and make change. It's been an absolutely appalling year for many of us, and the people you work with, and for people like me. It's been extraordinarily bad. I hope that we're beginning to come to a point where we can see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and can see that coming to an end, which I think is a wonderful message for today and a reason for optimism. I come from Barts Health, as you know, and we've learned a lot during this pandemic about how we manage people from a large range of backgrounds well, certainly in the circumstances where they don't have advocates and support. And I think that taught us that we need to do more to do that better. And I'm pleased to say that we're going to be taking steps to do that. We have our own disability celebration later today, which I'm looking forward to joining, and banded together under the name of Bart's Ability, which I hope is going to be able to make progress within the trust for disabled people. But as a trust, we need to serve all of the population equally well. So I'd just like to say that I and others would always welcome feedback about ways in which we can provide our services better. And thanks very much for asking me today, and for organizing this great event.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ian Bassett, who has always said that disability has strengthened him and his work as a public health doctor and turned challenges into opportunities. And that is exactly what we need, especially during this time. More and more people like you coming forward and passing that baton on, upholding those challenges and turning them into opportunities. One of the things that we always talk about is resilience, that how resilient people have been during this pandemic, how they have built around their challenges and barriers and try to work around them, learn new ways of dealing with those restrictions, especially when they are not going outside. And well-being is often hampered. And there has been lots of researches and surveys into that, where one thing that is coming up over and over again, that as we are planning the road to recovery, how inclusive we need to be. And thank you for your speech. So this time we're going to show another video. This video is based on Apasen and the partner organizations, how they have been promoting this day and what activities they have undertaken in the past years to celebrate this International Day for Persons with Disabilities. But also with the focus on the London activities of Apasen. So this is another video that will say a lot more about Apasen's London activities. Let's watch it.
How are you?
Fine.
What are you doing at home?
I'm doing drawing, painting, sanding.
So this has been the activities during the pandemic by some of the learners who have been supported to continue with what they do and how they can address their well-being. At this point, I think this is an excellent opportunity to bring in our learners and get a kind of like their point of view and hear from them what they have been doing. They have been sitting there very patiently, and I think it will be good to start with them. Robin Dashgupta, can I bring you in first, please? Hello, Robin.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Can you hear me? Good.
Yes.
So, Robin, I
How are
am
you?
very well, thank you, and I'm loving this
Yeah.
conversation with you virtually. Um, and how have you been? How was your morning? Good. Right.
Good.
Robin, a little birdie told me that you have been doing some drawings during this pandemic, and you were so good at it. So, can I have
Yes.
a view, or for our audience, would you like to
Yeah,
present?
drawing. Uh, I doing a drawing.
Wow. So, who is
Yeah.
this, Robin? Is that yourself? Is that a
And
self-portrait?
one. No, that's drawing.
Coco.
It's written in
Coco, I can
the
see Coco. Yes.
Coco. Yeah,
Who is
yeah,
Coco, Robin?
Coco. I saw that Coco, that person.
Oh, from the
Cartoon.
cartoons.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Do you like cartoons?
yeah, yes. I like
Great.
cartoon.
So, Robin, you have been at home and you have been doing all this. What do you miss most
Yeah.
before
I
pandemic?
missed daycare daycare center.
Why do you miss
My
daycare
friend,
center?
because I do activities.
So
Meet my friend.
you miss seeing your friends, isn't it? When you used to go to the day center, you used to see your friends.
Yeah.
Right. How many friends do you have, Robin?
Activity. Uh,
Lots?
lot.
Okay.
Yeah, lot.
Thank you very much for talking to us, Robin.
I missed I I missed the post
The post sessions.
sessions and art
Art. Oh, gym.
and gym
Okay. That's really good. You miss the activity.
activity. Day
Oh,
trip.
day trips. You used to go to day trips, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for that information. I'm now going to talk to Ruxana. Is that okay?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you talking to us. Ruxana, Assalamu alaikum. After kila asoin? Bala soine. After goroni, Ruxana? Ikta kita after room ni. sitting
Yeah,
room.
I was
যে
sitting
সুন্দর
sitting
blue.
room.
I'm loving the shade of blue. আপনি আপনি
Thank
কিতা
you.
করছেন ও প্যান্ডেমিকের সময় আপনি কিলা আপনার টাইম স্পেন্ড করছেন রুকসানা
Last center staff
হুম
আইসই বাইরে লেগে গেছো বাদে আমি শপিং গেছি বাদে আমি খেলা করছি গেম খেলাইছি এক্সারসাইজ করছি ওয়াশিং আপ করছি আর বাবুর
আচ্ছা
লগে
আমি একটা মিনিট হলরে হইয়া দেই যে আমরা আমরা যেন মাত্রাম হলে তো বুঝরা না নানি আমি একটু তোরা তারারে হইয়া দেই যে আমরা কিতা মাত্রাম ঠিক আছে নি So, just for others, I am talking to Ruxana. Ruxana has been describing her days, how she has spent the pandemic times at home. So, she said the carer came in. She sometimes, when there was no lockdown, she would go out and do a bit of shopping. At home she would do some exercise. She did some house chores like washing and cooking. She would do a bit of that. And I'm going to ask a few more questions to her because I hear she has also done some drawings for us. So I'm just going to request her to show some of them. Roxana, আপনার জেনে আখছই নানি একটা আমরারে দেখাইবা নাকি তোরা? Oh wow, যে সুন্দর কালারিং আপনি ড্র করিয়া বাদে কালার করছেন নি না কালার করছেন ও ওয়াও বাহ
খেলা করছি
হাউ ওয়ান্ডারফুল খুব সুন্দর হইছে ওয়াও আপনি কোন জিনিসটা মিস করেন রুকসানা যিনি প্যান্ডেমিকের আগে হরতা ওখন হরতা পাররা না ইলা কিছু আসেনি
জয় সেন্টার
ডে সেন্টার আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে থ্যাংক ইউ আমরা লগে মাতসইন আমরা লগে তাকসইন থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ So I've been talking to Ruxana, who has been one of the learners, for Apasen, and she too echoed that she has been missing the day center activities. Ruxana has continued her drawing, which you can see an excellent example of her works. Moving on, thank you both of you for your contribution. It was excellent and so nice to see how you have been spending your time. I'm now going to invite our next speaker, our honorable guest, Muhammad Zulkarnain, Honorable Deputy High Commissioner, Bangladesh High Commission, London. He has been serving as a diplomat assigned in London. Mr. Zulkarnain has got the opportunity to observe Apasen's progress over the past few years, and he always offered his best possible support and encouragement towards this event and the organization. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Saima, very much for inviting me to this event. Honorable Mayor John Biggs, Ian Bassett, Mahmoud Hassan Bhai, and the supporters and patronizers of Apasen. It's my great pleasure to join you, Apasen. This is the second or third time. Actually, I attended your program a number of times. So I am deeply amazed to see that Apasen, a group of philanthropic activists, helping the society, particularly working with the disabled people. And so they are working very hard to make the socially liable people into social resources, that I can say. And it is good to see that even during the COVID, Apasen is not deterred by the COVID to project or work for the socially disadvantaged people. And I just felt elated to see the wonderful, encouraging videos showing how we can turn the apparently liabilities into social resources, and how we can make difference with just extension of the little care, just demonstration of the compassion. This program has been organized in a timely manner. As you know, we are observing the International Day for the Disabled Persons. Bangladesh is a member of the UN Convention, and accordingly, Bangladesh enacted a law for the benefit of the disabled persons. Back home in Bangladesh, we take the disabled persons, affairs of the disabled persons quite seriously. And I can show you that we are progressively enhancing the state role, state support towards disabled persons. And in one statistics, for example, in 2020, 29 and 2020, our budgetary coverage for disabled persons increased by 67%. And not only that, our Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina herself actually is very much aware and keen to change the life and the livelihood of the disabled persons. Perhaps you have seen a news that published yesterday, which states that how a disabled family was suffering from a financial distress, and as a result, their 10-year girl child had no option but to choose to pull the rickshaw van. And hearing this news, seeing this news, our Prime Minister extended all possible support for the family, to the family. The reason I am stating this incident is that at the highest possible level of our government, we try to take care of the disabled families. Actually, this is very important in Bangladesh, where these persons, any person in the disabled family suffers due to their disabled members, and so the whole family suffers. So in order to keep the society inclusive and cohesive, we have no choice but to address the disability factors with due care and respect. And it's good to see that from the Apasen activities, they have extended their activities to Bangladesh, and I'm happy to learn that during the COVID, they have extended PPE supports to Bangladesh and extended their activities in Sylhet region. So I thank for them, and in this respect, from the High Commissioner, I would like to assure all possible cooperations in the days ahead. And I thank you, everybody, for showing compassion and contributing to the Apasen activities. Particularly, I thank John Biggs and Bassnet and all others patronizers, patrons for extending support to Apasen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy High Commissioner, as always, for your unconditional support towards these initiatives, home and abroad. Now, I would like to welcome our guest of honor, Mayor John Biggs, Executive Mayor for London Borough of Tower Hamlets Council. In his role as Mayor of Tower Hamlets, John has been working to improve the lives of local people by ensuring that the council and its partners provide the best possible services to the community. And he's also keen to strengthen the reputation of the council by promoting community cohesion, inclusiveness, and diversity. The floor is yours, John.
Well, can I thank you first of all for inviting me, and a couple of observations. The first one is when I watched the video, I realized that I've been getting away with wearing the same tie for about 8 years now, and I'm very proud of it because no one has ever commented on it. But it's beginning to wear out, and I might need to get a new tie before long. And one of the problems with COVID is that we're on video, and so I see myself more than I've ever seen myself before. The second thing that is that it's a real privilege to be here today and to be speaking in support of the Apasen celebration of the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. And this is a really, really important event. It's been going now for 28 years. As I think I always say, and as we need to keep saying as politicians, I very firmly support what's called the social model of disability, which is that we can put people into a bracket and say you are disabled and therefore that's your problem. But disability is a problem which is shared by the whole of society, and it's society that makes people more disabled by excluding people, by making it harder for people to access and play a part in our community. So really important that we hold our politicians and our other leaders to account when we're looking at issues of disability. And today you're going to be celebrating a number of the achievements, and ideally we'll be celebrating also performances of a number of your service users. But I know that this is a particularly difficult time. It's a difficult time not just for those who live with a disability, but also for parents and carers, and also for organisations like Apasen, but others as well, who've seen the way the system works punishing them in terms of income and security and the need to be safe. So, as has been said by Ian Bassnett in particular, as a health practitioner, we're really looking forward to an end to this terrible crisis in our lives. On the other hand, it has maybe taught us some things which are a little bit more useful. And so, as if you look on the website under IDPD, you'll find that this year's theme is about building back better towards a disability inclusive, accessible and sustainable post-COVID-19 world, which is a bit of a mouthful. But I guess it's saying, are there ways in which we can behave better towards each other and towards supporting families and persons who are living with a disability post-COVID? Are there things we've learned about the way in which we provide our services and support which can work better into the future? And I'm hoping and I'm believing that there are ways in which we can do that. One of the highlights with COVID, of course, is you can almost forget about disability. Just look at the wider picture of people who've been suffering with COVID-19 and the fact that people who have otherwise led lives in which they haven't had to worry about their health and well-being have had to experience themselves the different layers of the caring system, whether it's the NHS or care in people's homes. And I think it's a very obvious point that we've been making for years, that we are caring for people on the cheap, that if we want to provide people with fulfilling lives and we want to be inclusive, then we need to provide support for organizations and for people that allows people to have dignity. So there's a number of themes to this. It's there are prejudices, there are barriers to inclusion, but there are also massive economic obstacles. I mean, in my particular case, a fairly minor experience, I suppose, but for every family it's traumatic. My father became quite severely disabled, and dealing with his disability was one thing, but the massive economic impact of that as well, and the loss of family income, was something that really impacted us, and people perhaps don't think so much about that. The enormous impact of loneliness as well with disability. I'm sort of hoping that post-COVID, the shared experiences will help us to build back better, because we will have a greater shared experience. Final thing I wanted to say then, following the other speakers, is I really respect the work of Apasen down many years in the East End and beyond, now working internationally. But the mothership is Tower Hamlets, and I really respect the work that Apasen's been doing in Tower Hamlets. I know that we often talk about the challenges we face in terms of funding and budgets and access, and together I think we really are providing a better service. It can always be better still, but I pay my maximum respect to Apasen and to of course to Robin and Rukhsana, who have contributed to this event so far today, and maximum respect to the two of you as well. And thank you very much for allowing me to form a part of this event today. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Mayor John Biggs. It's strange, isn't it? Like virtually, we see you like this, and in a very formal, informal, friendly platform, and how we can engage one to one. It got its good sides and the hindsides of it. Like we can't really see each other. But thank you very much for your speech. We have come almost to the end of today's event. It has been really short because of your everybody's time, and also in with respect to our learners who have been sitting very patiently. I am really grateful for you two sitting there. So as you mentioned, Mayor Biggs has mentioned, and everybody else, that Apasen has taken this philanthropic approach to reach out to not only do support people with disabilities here in London, but also in Bangladesh. So one of the endeavors of Apasen International has been to, again, taking on board that wider theme of inclusiveness, inclusion, and also ensuring that we maximize our output and our duty towards the society. Here is one last video on that Apasen International's work in Bangladesh.
Hello, Jihan. Hola. Hi, hello. Assalamualaikum. ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। কেমন আছো তুমি? ভালো আছো? আচ্ছা, আজকে আমাদের ম্যাথ ক্লাস। এখন তোমাকে কি যে নাম্বারটা আছে সেই নাম্বার উঠাবে, আচ্ছা? জিহান? হ্যাঁ? মিস তোমাকে যে নাম্বার বলবো সেই নাম্বার উঠাবে, আচ্ছা? এই যে জিহান, এটা কত? এটা কত? এটা ভালো করে দেখে বলো, এটা কত? ওয়ান। এটা ওয়ান। এখন তুমি ওয়ান, নাম্বার ওয়ান ফিশ উঠাও। নাম্বার ওয়ান ফিশ উঠাও। এই তো নাম্বার, গুড জব। আচ্ছা, আমি যখন তোমাকে আরেকটা দেখাই, এটা ঠিক আছে আচ্ছা। এখন এটা কত? টু। টু। এখন টুটা জিহাদ, এখন তোমার বক্সে রিং আছে, রিং গুলো নাম্বার 7, ছয়টা রিং নাও। এই যে বক্সে রিং আছে। এই যে না, এই যে পিছে রাখতেও নাই। গুগল ক্লাস সব পারে। ভেরি গুড জিহাদ। তুমি ভালো আছো? কি করতেছো এখন? কিছু না। এখন আমরা একটা কাজ করবো, হ্যাঁ? দেখো মিস তোমাকে কি দিছে, দেখো মিস হাতে এটা কি আছে। আমরা এখন ম্যাথ করব। তাকাও, দেখো তোমার কাছে, দেখো কি আছে এটা। দেখো মিসকে দেখাও। এসো, হাতে নাও, হাতে নিয়ে দেখাও তুমি। Assalamualaikum. Balar suri tumi? Ini balar suri muna paisa, balar suri. Kita कर रहा है। वही देखो मिसर कैसे kita. देखो नी. Samus, देखो. Paisa, वो देखो samus. ये देखो muna bati. ওই দেখো গ্লাস, হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে।
So we have seen that pandemic has taught us how to redesign everything that we do, how we deliver services, and how we reach to our learners in a different way. And let me take this opportunity to thank each and every one of our frontline staff who has been taking tremendous pressure and risk and ensuring that services are delivered to the learners and making sure that they are supported in every way. Thank you very much, all of you who have taken part on today's celebration. And I think in our smallest possible ways, we have tried to reach out and celebrate the lives indoors and with these pandemic times. And one thing that we have learned is resilience. We have learned to learn once again how to push on and moving, make sure that we are included in every possible way. We end this program by a display of the artworks done by our learners in this pandemic. Thank you very much and a very good day to you all.